Morning Intuitives. Figured I'd get another video out before work. I'll probably be uploading this at work. Again, thank you for all who take the time. I hope my videos help you in at least one of your situations. Please pass them on to other people that you think they'll help out their situation. That's really the whole point why I do this. So the topic I want to get into today, and it's very important for INFJs, ENFJs, ENFPs, INFPs, is our precious sense of purpose. A life without purpose, based on our values, meaningless to us. All the material things in the world wouldn't matter to us if we don't have that sense of purpose. Now, why? Well, as idealists, we refuse to see the world as it is. We see it as it should be, as our vision of how we can make things better, make things more fair, destroy double standards, abuse, narcissism, bullying, hazing, retaliation, exploitation, sexual assault, things of that nature. INFJs and idealist types as a whole are very big in the concept of meritocracy. So we believe that someone should be, judged and rewarded based on their own merits, on their own work ethic, intelligence, etc., and not based on who they know, or the rest of that saying, who they know, or who they or who they're related to, or who they're friends with, or what fraternity they're in, and all that crap. In other words, old boys clubs. Hate them. I'm pretty sure you hate them too. Yeah. Now, with purpose to us can mean different things, but in general, it means making something better. Like a lot of INFJs are drawn to careers where they can help people in some way. A common one is the mental health industry. Obviously, you're helping people deal with various mental disorders and getting over traumatic events in their life. That's very appealing to INFJs, not just because you're helping people, but you also get people seek your advice, as they tend to do, even when we're not in a profession where people come to seek advice. People just seek our advice. I don't know, I guess because we listen and we pay attention and remember things and can take intuitive cues, which is really helpful in that industry. I know some INFJs from message boards that are in the healthcare profession, nurses, medics, doctors, that kind of thing, and they're not in it for the money. Now, I myself, as you well know, I was, in the fire EMS industry because I wanted to help people, and in addition to that, I wanted to help change the culture of the fire service and make it more inclusive, make it more be an amalgamation of the community that particular department represented, and not in old boys clubs of, well, my granddad worked here and my uncle and this is a family business. Like, no, it's not. Like, a public service is not a family business. No family owns that company. I understand the idea of a family business, but that does not exist within the public sector. That any public sector, be it fire, police, sewer, whatever, doesn't belong to one particular family. That's called nepotism, and that's bad. When family members get special treatment, especially within a public sector job. So for us, that sense of purpose, because let's be honest, especially for ENFPs, you're alright usually with this, but INFJs, ENFJs, let's be honest, we go long periods of time without having much of a social life, and let's be honest, INFJs, sometimes that bothers you more than you're willing to admit. Sometimes we're okay with it. All depends. So, given that sense of purpose to us is so important, we kind of want to put that need to help others or to make something better ahead of, say, our own needs that most people would consider more normal. Like, for example, to one of us, it would be more important, I'll use myself as an example, it would be far more important for me to be like, wow, this part of my community really needs another firehouse. I would be more concerned of getting another fire station open in that community where response times are long, and that would be far more important to me than say, oh, I'm getting this second job on the side and now I'm making $150,000 a year. To us, our sense of purpose is based in, look, I'm making the world a better place. I've helped these people. I've done things that have caused good, that have changed things for the better. Not, look at my new Cadillac and I'm a member of this country club and look how big my McMansion is. Look at all my staff. You know, to a lot of people, sense of purpose is how big your bank account is, what kind of car you drive. Do you have a trophy wife that despises you and hates you, but, she's 20 years younger than you and pretty, so that makes you cool in the country club kind of thing? No. No. And most of us wouldn't trade a sense of purpose for material wealth. I mean, if I was given the option right now of I can have a 25-year career at, a fire department of my choosing and be on a ladder truck, or I can have $10 million. I'm going to take the career, because with the $10 million, what would I do with it? And I'd still have no purpose. An INFJ with money and no purpose is still a miserable son of a bitch. You're just, brooding in a bigger place to live and brooding in a nicer car and still brooding. I mean, I suppose there are things you could do with that money that'll give you purpose, but in day to day, really, it wouldn't change anything. And that goes, again, to the fundamentals of who we are as INFJs. We're not the ones ever to be like, it is what it is, and just accept it, and, just grind through one day at a time, and, think of the little happy things. No. Not tweak things. If a situation sucks, it sucks, and if we want a sense of purpose, we're going to seek major radical change right away to change that situation. We're not ones to accept our fate or the hand we're dealt, no matter how bad it is, and it can be pretty bad. To us, the impossible just takes longer. Don't tell an INFJ, yeah, you'll never become a firefighter after that gunshot wound. You're going to walk with a limp for the rest of your life. It took a couple years, but I don't. So, or, you'll never make it into that career. You don't know anybody. Yeah, you never tell. If an INFJ has their mindset on something that's tied to their sense of purpose, where they're like, this is what my life is for, this is how I'm going to make the world a better place, be tough to slow them down, and people in general, especially, and again, this is more towards narcissism, if you dealt with narcissistic abuse, they may be telling you it's impossible or trying to ruin your sense of purpose because they want to destroy you, because they see something in you that they want to destroy, because you are a threat to their status quo that's corrupt. That's why a lot of INFJs get slandered as crazy. Not because you actually are, but because they sense the integrity and the determination in your sense of purpose to try to change things for the better. So if the person who's trying to dissuade you or sabotage you is benefiting from a corrupt status quo that you're going to change, of course. And not to mention, again, with sense of purpose, I mentioned again, we can't be bought. So if an INFJ is on a mission to expose corruption or abuse in some way, can't be bought off. So people will resort to slandering them, because if they're benefiting from that system, if they're benefiting or making money from exploiting people, then the person who is trying to expose that and can't be given a little hush money, that's a threat to them. So you have to slander that person's credibility. That happens a lot to us as well. But it's that sense of purpose that drives us. It's what gets us up in the morning, that long-term goal. And it's not just tied, professionally. As INFJs, we are hopeless romantics who have been seeking our one true love since, my case, since I was 11. It's been like searching for a blue rose. But, to us, unconditional love goes in there again with that sense of purpose, as it's these are the things that we truly value. These are the things that we'll seek above all else. Like, I guess when I mention, love, if an INFJ truly finds what I would call blue rose, or their like unconditional love, if that person was broke, that's not going to change it for the INFJ. They could get, like if I was head over heels with somebody and I had a chance to, court a beautiful woman who was worth tens of millions of dollars, which I have, but there was just no connection there, then I'm not going to do it. It's, what's the point? Like, I can't fake it. I can't play a role. If it's not there, it's not there. The money doesn't matter. Misery's misery. Like I said, misery's misery, whether you're sitting in a one-bedroom flat or a 30-room mansion. I've explained in other videos, money can't, the big three things I want out of life, money can only get me one of them, and that's to live where I want to live. But the other two, that sense of purpose in a career and unconditional love, money can't buy. So as INFJs, we have to continually strive towards that sense of purpose, and at times it can be hard even knowing what that is. I mean, I kind of figured mine out, relatively young. Since I was in middle school, I sought a job to make the world a better place, be it an FBI agent, an assistant district attorney, and ultimately a professional firefighter. But without knowing what that purpose is, it can be hard for us to even like get up in the morning and go through the day to day if that day to day sucks for us. So it's tough. A sense of purpose is a long term thing. You just have to remember, to know that that's what drives you, and don't feel ashamed of when you stick to that sense of purpose, and don't deviate from that path just because another path, there might be financial incentive to do so. Stick to it. You will regret it. I deviated from mine for years, but that was mainly due to a recession. There really wasn't much of a choice. It's going to haunt you. You know, as INFJs, if there's something that you want to do that's tied to your sense of purpose, and you seek something else out because you were basically railroaded into it, you felt like you couldn't say no, you felt like you didn't have a choice, and you end up doing it anyway, no matter how much money you're being paid, it's going to haunt you, and that feeling is never going away. So just be aware, our sense of purpose in life is what drives us. There's no outrunning it, whatever it may be. And do not listen to anybody when they tell you that what you're seeking as your purpose is unobtainable. It just may take longer than you want it to. And remember along the way to trust your intuition when seeking your purpose. And don't sell out your integrity to get it, because that never ends well either.